90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent, and as you know, you are currently tuned into Matters. Yes, Matters is that program where we discuss and analyze issues that affect you, issues that affect me as well. Now, we don't just talk about these issues, we actually make sure that we give you a voice right here on Matters. Your view is not just important, it is actually the reason why we are here. So fasten your seatbelt. It's about to be the ride of a lifetime. So you join us on today's edition of Matters. Tell a friend to tell a friend that Matters has just begun on your favorite dial. I'm not alone in the studio this afternoon. I have my guest analyst. You'll be hearing his voice very, very shortly. Okay, he will be doing just he will be giving in-depth analysis on the issues that we're talking about this afternoon. Like I said, fasten your seatbelt. It's about to be the ride of a lifetime. To say Asabi Singe. To say Asabi Singe. I'll just be serenading you every time I come. I'll just open the mic with beautiful songs. You know what I mean? Yes, that's what I would have been doing. But unfortunately, I don't want to croak, okay? And I don't want to bust your eardrum. So just enjoy my voice, Asibi. All right, let's get straight into the facts of the issue. Let's take a deep dive. Let's ask the hard questions. Let's challenge the status quo. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about power. Let's feel the pulse of the nation with no spin and no filter. Let's talk about the truth that matters. Remember that at some point in the conversation, the phone lines will be open so that you can also be a part of it by sending in your messages, leaving your comments on YouTube, sending messages on WhatsApp, or calling me on WhatsApp. Actually, you could also call via the direct phone lines. I want to hear from you. My voice of the people. If we don't hear from you, like I always say, where do we gain? Oh, where do we gain? Anyway, let's get right into the issues right here on Matters and Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Alright, so breaking news. The national coordinator of the Obedient Movement Worldwide, Yunusat Tanko, has disclosed that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, that's Peter Obi, has formally submitted his one-term proposal to the coalition, that is to the opposition coalition, for consideration. You recall that on Monday, Obi said he's willing to be a one-term president in 2027. Now, according to him, any candidate from the South who's elected president in the next election must be prepared to leave office on May 28, 2031, in line with the unwritten power sharing agreement and the zoning principle. So what he's saying is, it's not just him, even if he doesn't win the presidency, if it's not President Tinubu or whoever it is, as long as the person is a southerner, that person must be ready to leave office after 4 years so that power can go back to the north. Now, you do know that there's been several different political permutations ahead of 2027, even though many Nigerians are not. It'd be like saying, we don't actually put body, but it is so obvious that things are happening on the ground, things are happening low-key to ensure that certain people in 2027, just moves are being made. People are making moves to see that in 2027, I no one here say I know do as I suppose do. 2027 will be another time for Nigerians to elect their leaders across federal, state levels. But I must remind you that on July 12, local government elections are coming up. So make sure that you go out and cast your votes. Please go out and cast your votes, okay? Go out and cast your votes is very important. We'll talk about the federal government, they do this one. The state government, they do that one. But the local government, these are the government at the grassroots. They are the ones that are closer to you. So please make sure that you are involved in the process of electing your local government chairman, your councillors, and all of that. So make sure that you are involved. That is, you have a say, of course, during the general elections, but at the local government elections you have even more of a say. It's easier for you to go and see your local government chairman or your ward councillor than to try to see the governor or to see the president of the country. So please make sure that you go out and vote on the day of the local government elections. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. It is very, very important. All right, we're talking about Peter Obi submitting his one-term proposal to the coalition for consideration, saying whoever, even if I'm not the one, that's even if it's Peter Obi saying, even if he is not the one who will win the presidency in 2027, if the person who wins is a southerner, that person must be willing to just serve for one term only and then make way for the north in 2031. Now, that's not just the situation. We do know that the opposition coalition, you know, chose the African Democratic Congress, ADC, as their vehicle of choice ahead of the 2027 election, saying, okay, this is the vehicle that we want to use. Oh, it's no longer the SDP. That's after talks collapsed with the SDP. It's not the SDP. It's not the PDP. It's going to be the ADC. But here's the thing. Already, Party just gathered itself. ADC faction has rejected Aregbesol's appointment as secretary, cites illegitimacy. My guest is laughing. Okay, a group within the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has rejected the appointment of former Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola as the party's interim national secretary, describing the move as unconstitutional and lacking legitimacy. The group, which identifies as concerned stakeholders of the ADC, includes youth and women leaders, state executives, and ward coordinators. He made the position known in a statement signed by the party's national publicity secretary, Dr. Musa Issa Matara. My guest today is Mr. Dele Fanimo. You know him and you love him. He's a veteran journalist as well as a political, social, and national affairs analyst. Mr. Fanimo, thank you for joining me on Matters today. Good afternoon.
It's always my pleasure.
Mr. Fanimo,
I'm a reporter.
Mr. Fanimo, Matadeo. You laughed when I read out this particular. You laughed when I read out this particular report. First of all, what is funny? Is it the vehicle where they just enter? It come like say that they develop fault and they never come up for bus stop. What did they happen?
They couldn't even find the brain box. They are looking for the brain box, so they cannot even travel. And without the brain box, cars cannot function. So that's why they are looking at trying to get the brain box of that car. And in that attempt, it was in our sister station here this morning when I told our viewers that, look, these are strange bedfellows, that the only common denominator why they came together is just because they hate Tinubu. Not that they hate APC. But Tinubu didn't give them what they want, and so they must kick him out. And when you fight your enemy with your two eyes closed, you are not likely to win that battle. And that is what they are doing now. Now, they couldn't even come up with the arrowhead. Who is the one driving this vehicle? Is it David Mark that has been in limbo?
And who has officially dumped the PDP?
That is official. Even when he was there, apart from the fact that he was Senate president for so many years, that he was negotiating for an election that was won by somebody else who he had to buy over and then pay off to come back to the Senate. Is that the kind of person? And you say you want to effect change. How do you effect change with the same people that was part of the denigration of this country coming together? I've not seen anybody that is so prominent that I can really vouch for, that can lead me if given the opportunity to say I should choose. And the only trump card they want to use is Peter Obi. And everything they are doing is to lure me into that fold so that they can use his integrity mantra to hoodwink Nigerians. And we'll see what will happen.
Do you think he doesn't know that? If really they are trying to lure him, to use him as a pawn to gain power and topple the APC administration in 2027, do you think he doesn't know that? Or he doesn't mind as long as he's their presidential candidate?
I pray that he knows. I really pray that he knows, because these people, their machination is beyond coming to redeem Nigeria. The situation is bad, but this kind of people will make it worse. The same David Mark that said telephone was not for the poor as communication minister. Maybe we'll begin to tell stories about these people's antecedents for Nigerians, especially you youth, to know that these people, they don't have good credentials to lay claim to a better Nigeria that will come from them. David Mark, as communication minister in uniform, told Nigerians, is on record, that telephone is not meant for you and I. That was when they were using not 9 Not, you know, that's 090 cellular phone. But today, the poorest of the poor would have at least a toy phone, a small phone. You know, a phone that you can still receive call and make calls. So is that same person that is coming to push an agenda right before our face to say he wants to rule Nigeria? Show me Aregbesola that is a serial betrayer, that Tinubu practically picked him from nowhere. He lost his job in Cabri. He was a technician. He was never an engineer. Let him bring out his number from Koren as a registered engineer in Nigeria, and he calls himself an engineer.
So basically, Nigerians should be wary of all.
Nigerians should be wary, and that's why I would be extremely disappointed if Obi should join this gang.
He has submitted to the opposition his wanted proposal. And why do you call them a gang? Is it that you're saying these people don't have integrity? Nigerians should not believe in them. Nigerians should be very careful.
Give me their full list.
Especially for the fact that it seems they are more interested in pushing out the current administration.
It's not the administration. They want to push Tinubu out. That's their own, the sole agenda of that group.
And they may not do better than he's already
done. They are not going to do better. Show me somebody, the only person, and I've not heard that is part of them now, El-Rufai. When it comes to brilliance, El-Rufai is brilliant, extremely brilliant.
But why do you think El-Rufai is not part of them? You know, he recently just joined the SDP. If the
what I'm telling you is that
ADC, maybe he doesn't want to jump from one political party to another.
You see, the whole idea is, when you want to fight a formidable force, you don't go into splinter. Now you have a formidable force in Tinubu, and now all of you are running scatter, jumping from one political party to the other, and at the end of the day you now have a 3-horse race or 4-horse race contest. Show me how a divided house, the same thing that happened in 2023 will likely happen in 2027. Add Peter Obi's vote and that of Atiku. Can Tinubu match that number of votes? Almost 40 million to 8 million of Tinubu. But because they split, because of unbridled jostle for power, they divided those votes and Tinubu won. The same thing was going to happen in 2023. They will fight themselves. One will go to SDP, another to ADC, and another one to another party. At the end of the day, ADC will have like maybe 3 million, SDP will have 5 million, and the other party will have 2 million. When you add them together, Tinubu doesn't need more than 6 million votes to defeat all of them. And that's what is going to happen, because nobody is ready to step down for anybody. They are busy pursuing their own personal agenda against the wishes of Nigerians. Show me, let any one of them come to debate with me, and I will show why he's not qualified because of his antecedent in government. What were the landmarks of David Mark as member of the Senate and then later Senate president for about 3 times? Can you mention one particular thing that is a signpost to show that if he becomes president today, everybody will follow him and he will do wonders? Is it Atiku? Is it Aregbesola? Show me one. Aregbesola messed up the whole of Osun State. At a point, he was paying a quarter salary to workers. Pensioners were dying every day. He refused to pay them. What sense do you think is in saying every student in a whole state must be wearing the same uniform? Does it make any sense? And this was Aregbesola that did that. Spent so much money, wasted so much money saying he's rebranding secondary school. Is it the rebranding that matters, or making sure that infrastructure is top notch and then the teachers are well trained to impart knowledge in the students? So that kind of person, you now put him as president of Nigeria and you think he will make any impact? He's busy saying state of Osun, translating Yoruba into English directly.
So all those ideas were not innovative or creative?
No innovation. So tell me any one of them. The only person that remains to be beaten, and they will not give him, they will just deceive him. So it's better for him to remain where he is. If he must leave the Labour Party, let him go and find traction in a new party.
You know, a lot of Nigerians believe that he has a better chance of gathering a lot of votes if he is able to have people like Atiku, Rufai, most of those people who are involved in this strong opposition coalition right
Atiku
now, rather than dividing votes the way you said.
Atiku is ready to die to become president of Nigeria, and is not going to sit. If Atiku and Obi finds themselves in one political party before 2027, just go back home and begin to sleep, because they are not going anywhere. Look at the game they are playing. And Atiku says, okay, you'll be my vice president for 4 years. Are you telling me that an Atiku will stay in power for 4 years and then relinquish and say, Obi, go on? Or the North would agree? Don't you know that they are surreptitiously taking power from the South? And what we do here is to say, whatever it is, let it pass. Whatever it is. That was how we brought somebody that does not even understand governance into power and chasing Jonathan away. At a point, they said, no, even if it's a NEPA bill, let him bring in lieu of his certificate. And see what we have found ourselves in now. For 8 years, a Buhari sitting as president of Nigeria, don't you know that it's the same Buhari that was minister of petroleum when under Obasanjo $2.8 million was missing. That fella sang about it, and the same Buhari later came back over 30 years after to become president. And when he came back for 8 years, nobody audited NNPC. Is that the kind of people you are talking about? I'm not saying that Tinubu is perfect, that he is doing well. But if you must remove somebody that is not doing well, put somebody who has ideas, who can do better than the person you are removing. So Atiku that superintended over $16 billion investment in the power sector, that up to today we are still hovering around 4,000 and 5,000 megawatts. When Cote d'Ivoire, that is close by here, with less than 80 million population, is having 11,000 megawatts. The whole GDP of Cote d'Ivoire is not up to half of Lagos State GDP. So where are we headed? We're just deceiving ourselves.
We're streaming live on YouTube. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. You're currently tuned into Matters. You can find us on YouTube at VOP903 FM to join the conversation live. If you want to put faces to the names or faces to the voices, you just want to see what our studio setup looks like, head on over to YouTube for a minute or two or stay for an hour. VOP903 FM on YouTube. It's a few seconds to 2 p.m. right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. We're coming to you live from our studios in the heart of Lagos. This is Matters, where we cut through the noise and get to the heart of the matters that move our nation. Very soon you'll be able to call in, speak up, get involved, because your opinion actually does matter. Okay, so I'm here to keep you informed, here to make sure that you stay engaged. Most importantly, I'm here to make sure that you have a voice and that you stay heard. Okay, now while we're still talking about all of these issues, now why can't be like say wahala deal. Our party is now for sale. ADC faction reject opposition coalition's adoption of the party. A faction of the African Democratic Congress has rejected the opposition coalition's decision to adopt the party as a means to unseat President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 election. The National Publicity Secretary of the faction, Musa Issa Mantara, in a statement today declared that the party is not for sale. He said the party is not a private coalition platform that elite individuals should hijack, stressing that the party's stakeholders, including state executive, youth and women leaders and ward coordinators, were not consulted before making the decision. How real can this be, actually, that the party stakeholders were not consulted? The opposition coalition just moved in and announced that without
was that not what they
them
did
along.
Was that not what they did to SDP?
Was that all was done to the SDP? You know, would you say that one of the fears of the ADC is, you know, the whole Peter Obi wave into Labour Party, then Labour Party became a household name overnight, and then right now you can see the whole situation. Last year, Julius Abure, Aisha Yusufu were blaming each other back and forth. You chop money, you know, chop money. We are the real obedience. You are working for another. You're working for a different party. Some people are, even then it was looking like, oh, Julius Abure, who was the national chairman of the party, was working against the party. Would you say that's what the ADC is afraid of? The fact that that party could be used as a vehicle, used and dumped. Let's just say.
You see, I have always said it. These are comatose parties that were registered for anybody that is willing to buy.
So they should
And
be happy
so
that
they have to
use
they
them.
have to negotiate to get money out of these people that are coming to the. Don't you know that these people will also show some measure of responsibility over their party so that they can extract? After all, there are some people that are keeping the party alive, oiling the party and paying the required fees when the need arises. So they will have to maximize their gain now.
They have to maximize their gain by making sure that they make bargains that will actually favor them.
Exactly.
All right. Because I don't want to say I don't believe you on air, so I won't say that. So let's continue with the conversation.
You see, the point is, it's quite unfortunate that these were the intentions of those behind the removal of history from our curriculum. For 15 years, there was no history in our curriculum. And today, those around that bracket, they don't even know about Nigeria. I'm sure you were shocked when I told you that David Mark once said, as communication minister under the military, in uniform, he was a brigadier general then, when he said, as communication minister, when he insulted Nigerians by saying telephone is not meant for the poor. As at that time,
one could say that was then and this is now.
Wait, as at that time, artisans, Okada riders were using telephone in nearby Benin. Do you know the enormity of what you have to do? Every file, every document, everything in Osun State must be changed. And I'm sure if they go into the books now, they would have expended close to 10 billion naira for the simple, unreasonable, illogical pronouncement by Aregbesola in Osun State. You see, the school that he forced because somebody close to him got the contract of uniform for all secondary schools in Osun State. All secondary schools were compelled to wear the same uniform.
It is people that Tinubu planted inside the ADC that rejected Aregbe, and let me shock you, he knows Tinubu very well. He's the only one that can work successfully against him. Do you agree?
Tinubu, you see what I'm saying? The target is Tinubu, not APC. But unfortunately, some people are diehard ADC chieftains that will stand their ground. Look, if Aregbesola even succeed in betraying Tinubu to this point and he unseats him, can that person be trusted with power? Somebody who was practically fed by Tinubu, nurtured by Tinubu, for the period Aregbesola was fighting to become governor in Osun State. Tinubu held on to the works ministry through Fashola. What was he worth? Did they know him in Ijesha land where he claims to come from when he went to Osun? All those monies, all those litigations, was he the one that was paying for those litigations through the lawyers? Can at that time, can Aregbesola hire a charge and bail lawyer?
So if there is anyone working against Tinubu and the APC in 2027, Aregbesola should not be part of them. Because of all the goodness he has enjoyed from the president.
In good conscience, Aregbesola, if he's not going to support Tinubu, should keep quiet.
You know, remember that this is not
just
politics we're talking about. We're talking about the lives of Nigerians. We're talking about the purchasing power.
Who told you that Aregbesola will be in power and he will remember Nigerians?
But he's not trying to be
How many people, go and ask on the street, how many people are Aregbesola empowered?
But he's not declaring to be president. He's just okay. Let's open the phone line so that we can hear from you. I want you to be able to talk to the guest as well. But please make sure you turn down the volume on your radio set. First of all, please make sure you do that before you even dial the phone lines. Also, please keep it short, keep it simple, keep it respectful. Please keep it respectful. Do not use any insulting words, okay? 0803 692 9933 0803 692 9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of the conversation right here on Matters. 0803 692 9933. Send the message on WhatsApp 0817 175 6338 0817 175 6338 on WhatsApp. Send a message or call me up. Hello, welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you doing? What's your name and location, please?
Hello.
I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters.
Yeah, please, my name. Yeah, and they know this man very well. All of them, they work together. That's 2023. Please, I believe the coalition, let them leave them like that. Nigerians are in support of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So you're saying you don't mind whoever is part of the coalition, whoever them be, may them gather themselves come as long as they are going to unseat President Tinubu in 2027. I want you to recall that this was how it was with the whole President Jonathan situation in 2015. Anybody but Jonathan, anybody but Jonathan, until we enter where we get now.
Imported Boko Haram.
You know why I brought up the conversation and all of that is it's very unfortunate because many times we will say, I will give you electricity, I will give you good roads, I will give you water.
Do you know
basic amenities?
Do you know what they are campaigning about now? They want to create states. Imagine a House of Rep member saying he wants to create states. Does that not tell you that that person is an illiterate? Has he gone through the constitution?
Let's not use insulting words, just constructive criticism.
No. What I'm saying is, such a person, if he had read the constitution that is supposed to be like a Bible to him, he will know that state creation under a civilian administration is nearly impossible.
You know why?
Why are you promising your people that you want to create states, whereas you know that it's not possible? Is that not deceit?
Attention to that road. That's not to say that they don't know about it, because if you are the chairman of a local government, it's expected that you will live within that local government. So I don't want to believe that the chairman,
even if he doesn't live in that local government,
state of that
his
road.
house, his office will be located within the premises of the local government. So that tells you that he knows, and he has aides. Landlord association officials had gone to several of them that had come and gone, and nobody is paying attention to that road, and yet you collect taxes from businesses, from homes and all that in that Festac. Festac population is close to about 1.5 million, and you can imagine 1.5 million people, even if they are paying 100 naira tax, 30 million naira allocation for a month, the governor will give you 5. He will use 5 using his own proxy as contractor to come and work. So the governor now determines what happens in each local government in every state. If you want borehole, they will give you electricity. If you want to have your dispensary, they will give you borehole. Roads that are supposed to be opened by, look, these 2,000 tractors that Tinubu just claimed to have acquired, they are supposed to be within the local government. It is local government. When I was growing up, I had worked in the local government. Graders, low loaders, payloaders, and other machineries of constructing roads.
Mention one person's name, one person's name. Even their president, share is their group. The man you are mentioning them, their group. Is he giving us what we want?
No.
So there's no point giving.
So if we must seek alternative, then we must seek a better alternative.
Well, if we do not find what we do, we should say, okay, continue, Abi.
Sir, let me tell you, there are many Nigerians.
Say, okay, continue, Mr. President, continue.
There are many Nigerians. I've just mentioned that.
Who are the Nigerians? The good Nigerians don't want to come out.
It's not that they don't want to come out. They have made politics so lucrative.
I'm not ready to come for politics.
Because you don't have the resources of Nigeria. So you don't have the liver to lie.
So don't stop mentioning that man, only that man name. I don't want to mention of Aregbesola. There are certain things he did that they are still accommodating. Go to Alimosho, all the roads in and out, they are constructed by him. And there is not the only one that is going to do the, issues. So that is my own. Let the coalition come first. Other things will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, 9933. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Hello.
I can hear you. What is your name? What's your location?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, Chama, good afternoon.
Welcome to the program.
My name is Mr. Bright. I'm calling from Alamosha.
Go ahead.
God, I can intervene. But let's just hold God and pray. Let God help us. Let God have mercy on Nigeria. So that's my own take.
Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. It's exactly 2:30 p.m. on the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Call me up. Hello.
Hello?
What's your name and location? Welcome to Matters.
Yeah, this is David calling from Ejibu.
Welcome, David.
I want to greet your guest.
He greets you
because
too.
it's hitting the nail by the head.
Thank you, sir.
We Nigerians, we don't know. We are only running head and scatter when it's raining. We will be shouting rain, rain. But when the rain gets stopped, we forget about how dubious the rain was. He's saying the normal truth. He's not the owner of mechanical generator. When it comes now, we will now still make all this NEPA. They will say they refund 7,000 megawatt, 1 million megawatt, and there will not be any light to use for Nigeria. So that's my only take. I love your girls. Receiving the mail by the head.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate it. Let's take some comments on YouTube and some messages on WhatsApp before we resume with the phone calls. We don't want to leave anyone behind. I can also see that some people have been sending SMSs. That's really nice. Thank you so much. I want to take your messages as well so that, like I said, we don't leave anyone behind. Okay. Pastor Lariwaju, I see your message. Thank you so much. Let's take your comments on YouTube. Tochukwu Adiele, good afternoon. Present government. Akpan also says in 2015 things was bad as it is now. So it's turn by turn. We from the South, we will make sure we vote him out come 2027. So we answer Chinoye's question about the way forward if it's not a coalition.
Well, the coalition, you see, I'm not worried about coalition. coalition makes a group formidable because you are bringing ideas from different background, different perspectives. But what we are saying is, who are these people forming the coalition? That's my worry. Are we going to have a coalition that will even bring a worse candidate compared to the current government? Is that what we want? And then the agreement, and those guys felt that, look, the first law of nature is self-preservation. Is that the kind of person that will form a coalition and you are now celebrating that you should come and take over Nigeria? To what end?
22 minutes before 3 p.m. Let me take some of your messages on WhatsApp. Good day, Chioma. If your guest believes everybody in the coalition are the same, let him import new people from Europe or China. Tinubu promised to bring down the price of fuel, but reverse is the case. You cannot condemn David Mark for what he has said. Dr. Adegoke from Idimu. Good afternoon, Chioma. What's your analyst saying? Should we continue to allow Tinubu to drag Nigeria into a one-party system? Does he advocate for a cent to come and rescue Nigeria? Nigerians are tired of suffering. Let the coalition continue. What Nigerians want is for this government to be Tinubu is not better than any of those members in the coalition in terms of integrity. He has failed woefully in terms of governance. We cannot continue like this. The suffering is too much. The president is busy wasting and sharing resources meant for all of us. We should support the coalition. When you people say they want to use Peter Obi, you need to elaborate, because if they pick him as presidential candidate, I don't see that as him being used. Festus from Alakbere Ketu. But you spoke about how, if these people really do, if he's a presidential candidate and maybe he wins, these people want to be in positions of power, they want to be ministers, they want to be special advisors and all of that. And so even if he does and he says, I have an agenda to rid Nigeria of corruption,
I said, let me know the voucher. Take the money. After all, it's our money, but let it be in billions, because million no go reach me.
No go reach you again.
No go reach
Anybody
me again.
that is against the coalition is an enemy of the masses. Tinubu a saint. I don't believe that this coalition will ever be like that of APC in 2015 with Tinubu and Buhari that brought insecurity, trying to remove power from Jonathan. Every suffering Nigerian must welcome the coalition to unseat APC. KK Gold, good afternoon. Chioma, Mr. Fanimo. Solomon Asika from Mushin. I tend to agree a bit with Mr. Fanimo because of what he's saying about Aregbesola. Even Dr. Peter Anoske today said he doesn't even trust Aregbesola being among the coalition team, but Obi needs to merge with people to win the presidential election. One, anyone that will bring back our money in the hands of politicians. Two, anyone that will probe these politicians and our money and use it for our welfare. That's the person we will vote for, amongst other things. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your comments on YouTube as well. Let's take some of your calls before we go. Hello. Turn down the volume on your radio set and give me a call back. 0803-692-9933. We have 13 minutes before we have to wrap up. Call me up. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, what's your name and location, please? Welcome to Matters. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Everybody is talking about Peter Obi, and Peter Obi said when he became the president.
On everything that we're talking about today, coalition, one-term presidency, ADC faction. We know Aregbesola is not our secretary. ADC faction, we are not up for sale. All of this, in fact, all of these political permutations ahead of 2027. Nigerians, how should Nigerians prepare themselves as well? And also the person who asked the question about who could be the ideal people in this coalition that you think, if these people don't have integrity, they don't have credibility. I mean, who should we be looking up to bring Nigerians out of a quagmire?
See, I've just mentioned one. If they would allow him, but I don't see them allowing him, because corrupt politicians will never allow somebody with integrity to lead them, because eventually